Welcome to Money Matures. Got a good friend of mine, George, on today. Excited to have you, man. You know, we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, man. And I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit, man. So thank you for coming on. But why don't you introduce yourself?
What's going on, everybody? My name is George. I go by either Gem or G. That's what I'm most comfortable with. Been knowing my man for I don't even know how many years now.
Shoot,
So
it's been a long time. 20, 30, I think, at this point.
at least 20.
At least 20, without question.
So, anything that we could do to make, any and everybody progress, move forward, a little information, a little help. Never hurt nobody, so let's get it.
I love it. I love it. As always, guys, we cover a lot of topics, man. We're gonna do so. You've been into property management for some time. I know that. I guess my first question for you is, in the property management, what got you into the property management game?
Well, I had got my real estate license. Damn, I can't even remember when that was, but everything is going well. I actually got into what's called locating. So locating is a process to where you go through the process. So if a person can't get a house, let's go down to a townie or a condo or apartment, like whatever we can do to get them keys. Obviously, if you can't get a house, we're not just going back, oh, well, we can't do a house.
Yeah.
So what's the next best option?
Okay.
So, we went around the city, we gathered a whole bunch of information to make sure that, when a person told us whatever the situation was, we will be able to accommodate them.
Okay.
Income, if you have maybe a couple of background issues, if you have probably maybe like an eviction here or there, which is in Arizona is damn near impossible to get a place.
Yeah.
If you have,
Once you have something like that,
they don't want no parts of it because they like, if you owe somebody money, I'm not going to be next in line to be owed.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what the amount is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be real hard. So we wanted some people to have a place to stay. So whatever the case may be, we will find you a place to stay, but we will also make bullet points or whatever to make sure, like, when the year came, or if you signed a 14-month lease, we could go to the next level.
Oh yeah. So you help. So it's more than just that. It's you help people kind of with everything. I mean, from start to finish. And if you need to step down, you step down and you get them prepared for that. And then you kind of it sounds like you kind of build them back up and get them prepared for that next step. Right?
I mean, it has to happen sometime.
Hell yeah. I like that, man.
Can't stay in that realm,
Yeah, I like it. That's dope, man. So you've been doing that. How long you been doing that for?
Shoot, man. Like 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
Nice. But I don't do property. I mean, I don't do that anymore. I just do property management now. But
so that's what led you into property management.
Because it wasn't stable anymore. It wasn't, a lot of apartments and a lot of places, the criteria just got hard.
Yeah.
So the checks wasn't as stable. So
I get that.
I had to get to something that was stable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then as far as you go, I had some questions for you. I wanted to ask you, I know that you're, into, the stock market a little bit more than most people. Like, what do you recommend for people that have like a 9-to-5 like me? I literally in the office from 9 to 5, actually 9 to 6. I don't have time to watch computer screens, like, things to where I can make the plays that I need. Like, what would you recommend the average 9 to 5, 9 to 6 person that can't watch the computer screens and, make the plays that they feel like they need to, but they want to invest? Like, what would you recommend for them?
I think it's a few different things. So I think that's a lot of people. A lot of people are either doing their main gig, their main source of income, which is your most powerful asset, and they're working on that and they want to build something on the side, right? I mean, I think that's what the goal of investing is, right? Is to grow your money. So I think that a lot of people fall into that category. I think it just depends on how much research do you really want to do. You don't have to really be in front of a computer screen all the time. I mean, there's day traders that obviously do. There's people who do options and stuff like that where, yeah, they got to sit in front of a computer screen. But if you're going to, if you need some time to research companies, you want to make sure that you're investing in companies that, match your values, match your, or you think they're going to be strong growers. So if you can set some time aside to invest, the whole point of it is if you pick a company that you believe in and you've done the research on, then you shouldn't have to sit in front of the screen every day, just look for a buying opportunity, or you can just dollar cost average. Some people try to look for lows. In my experience, timing the market is incredibly difficult. So I recommend for most people like that to do like just dollar cost averaging. Just make sure you invest a certain amount every Friday or every other, because if you do that, you're going to buy high sometimes and you're going to buy low sometimes. You know what I mean? So you don't have to pant, like you don't got to worry about it. There's going to be times you buy high and that's okay. So that would be my recommendation there. But you do have to have a little bit of time to research the companies that you want. Now, once you figure out who you like, you just buy them every week if you want to. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't want to do any research, it just doesn't and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people don't want to really do any of that, but they want to invest.
Why would you? That's not even realistic.
Well, no, it is. But you just have to do an index fund, because then you're not in bed with one company. You're in bed with 500 or 1,000, or 100, depending on the index fund you go. So no, you absolutely can do it, but that would be a passive investor. And that's a great thing. If you're going to do anything, you might as well you invest somewhere. In fact, even people like myself who own a few publicly traded companies, but I like indexes as well. You know what I mean? So, but that would just be my advice there is you do have to set some time. If you're going to invest in a company, you do want to set some time and make sure you research that company, and then once you do, you really don't have to look at the screen every day. If you know it's going to be something you want to be, then just buy in a little bit and just buy a little bit more every other week or every week, or
sure,
even if it's small amounts.
Would you recommend people look at, let's say, you go on a stock and you scroll up to where you see the volatility and buy, hold, sell, do you go off of those percentages at all? Or do you go off of, I'm talking about, I'm not sure if everybody understands, but if you're in stocks, like if you scroll, you'll see the volatility. They'll recommend buy, hold, sell.
Yeah, you'll usually have X amount of people said sell, X amount of people said buy, X amount of people said hold. I don't really pay any attention to that. Okay. I mean, because for me, I did the research on the company that I want. So there's always going to be times where I actually fell into that trap with Apple many years ago. I let people tell me when to sell my stock.
Sure.
And that was the dumbest thing I ever did, because just because somebody got a wild hair at their ass to freaking sell Apple, I sold it and then it freaking went up. And then I had to buy back in at a higher amount. My issue with that is that's where you got to do some research and kind of figure out if you really value the company, then nobody should be able to sway you out of that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's an index, there's no reason to ever sell it. Just feed it.
If you're going to say feed it, that's another way of saying, like, you can make this a bank account, so to speak, for you. Like, if you don't have a good place to maybe save money, or you think you're going to blow money, or if you think like the bank is not a good place to put it, like, put it away in a stock like that you may like, or Apple or anything. If you only got $20, $10 that you could put in every week or every other week, that's cool.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just throw it in there, and you can watch the volatility, but you already know, like, these companies, they're going to be there, man.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to be there.
If you're investing in untested companies, if you have money to risk, you can take risks if you want to, but if you're investing in companies that have been around for a long time, now you're not going to 10x your money this year. You know what I mean? It's going to be slow and steady. They're what we call blue chip stocks, but but also you're not going to see a ton of really bad. They're not going to fall off the face of the earth tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So it's not like it's going to, so, and that's my thing is I'm very conservative. I do have a small portion of my portfolio that I go towards high risk stuff, but I'm willing, I know my risk tolerance. So I'm willing to say like, hey, if I lose this, I'm good. I'm not tripping. But for the most part, I'm pretty conservative. So I'm going to go with companies that I know have been around and have treated me well for many years, especially ones that pay out dividends.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
Getting back to the property management game, I want to ask this question because I imagine you've ran into some managing properties. I can imagine you ran into some stuff, right? So what's the funniest or craziest experience you've had with a client or a customer or an employee, whatever, in the property management game?
Oh man, you would expect it would be a lot more common sense, and everything is the apartment's fault. Everything is the. It don't matter what happened, man. It's our fault. You know what I mean? And
If I pay late, you move the mailbox. I like to.
we the bad guys, and that's cool. I would say the very craziest thing that I've heard, and legally we're allowed to stop these things. I mean, let alone with like maybe if you think somebody's drunk or high or something like that, you don't have to do a contract with them because legally they can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? If the judge is like they were not in the right state of mind to sign a contract,
Yeah.
obviously they have a way to get out of that.
Yeah.
But when people don't understand numbers or verbiage or dialogue or vocabulary or anything, like stop the contract. Don't go further. You're allowed to do that. So long story short, there was person, we talking numbers and he's like, yo, and I know it's going to sound crazy. He's like, yo, half of 50 is 28 something. And, what?
Like, no, I'm wouldn't like,
About this
yeah, no, that's not how this works. Your math ain't mathing.
at all. You know what I'm saying? So we can't go any further.
Yep.
We can't do this. And like I said, like even me right now, I still can't believe, and it sounds so dumb. And there's people who will really be like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I promise you.
No, I think when you work with people, sometimes you see some funny stuff. And I definitely think, common sense isn't always as common as we might think.
That's where us property managers come in. Like, man, we've been doing this. So we were like, hey, man, unfortunately, we have to stop the process.
Yeah.
This, you just got to be honest, man. This is going to be a liability for myself and you.
Yeah.
You just told me something that completely outlandish.
Yeah. Like, because now I don't know, you understand how much your rent was.
All right. So I got one for you. Two big differences. I know a lot of people have like the microwave era train of thought right now. So sometimes it'll benefit them, sometimes it'll not, but people need to get the balance. So what is a good long-term investment that people could make? And then what would be a short-term investment that people can make? But also if they choose to go with like a short-term, how would they be able to like manage it? Because that's something that you actually got to wire shit a little bit more.
Short term, I'm a little more reluctant to answer just because of that reason. To be clear to everybody out there, I'll never tell you when to buy a stock or when to sell a stock, but I will tell you some stocks that, have been tried and true for years, that I think you're pretty confident. I would still advise you to do your own research and find the right buy-in point. I'm very long-term. I'm a very long-term person. I don't do a lot of short-term. I do some.
What makes you choose to be more long-term?
I'm just super conservative. I like my money and I don't like losing it. So I work very hard for my money and I just don't want to risk it. And I'm very patient. I'm very disciplined and I'm very patient. So I'll hold stuff for the long haul. A lot of
patience.
Patience is key.
Patience is key. Write that down.
For stocks, I'd say if I were going to say a couple just off the top of my head that have been tried and true for me for a long time, in the tech world, I'd say Apple, like we mentioned earlier, and then in the I don't know, consumer, I'd say probably Costco. Okay, Costco's a killer. When you're researching companies, you really have to know how they make money. Okay, and A lot of people think Costco makes money off groceries. That's not really the case. They make money off their memberships. So that's where their money comes from. And so that's why when you're going to do research, you gotta look at, you need to know how a company makes money.
Sure.
Like, because otherwise, what's the point?
Read the bios.
Yeah, read everything. So for me, I don't have the time to read every single thing about every single company. So that's why I'm more conservative, and I'll stay with companies that I know have been companies that I use on a regular basis, companies that everybody I see. Costco, bro, every time I go to a Costco, it's packed. That can't be bad for business. You know what I mean? Like this is the thing people think about investing is this crazy hard thing. Like if you go to a place and it's always busy, bro, I'm looking up who owns this place.
Yeah.
Like I'm on my phone. I'm Googling like who owns what company owns such and such.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I would say, and I'm not saying go buy Apple or go buy Costco. I'm not saying that. What I am saying that for the last 20 years, they've been, and even further, they've been tried and true. You know, they pay dividends on a quarterly basis. Their growth is steady year over year.
Yeah.
So it's something you can really sink your teeth into. As far as short term, you got to be careful with short term. You've got to look for catalysts. I do some short term investing because I'm always looking at stuff. So sometimes I'll read something and, you know, something will jump out at me, you know, and I'll think to myself, "Ooh, that might be a catalyst." If you're going to do short term, you gotta have some type of thought of what's going to make the stock go up.
Sure.
There's got to be a catalyst. If you don't have a catalyst, you shouldn't do it. So if you read something and there's like, hey, you know, XYZ company is potentially going to do XYZ, they're still working on something. If you feel like, and you do a little bit of research and you feel like that is a catalyst, then you should then go for it. Right.
Yeah.
But if you're in it for a short term period, then I got to assume that you're in it to try to make a quick buck. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also got to have the discipline. Where I struggled personally is I've had a couple of situations where I went into something thinking it was short term and I made my money and I didn't get out fast enough because I got greedy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you got to be disciplined. And I've learned that lesson. So that's why I don't do a lot of short term personally. But if I see something that's going to give me a catalyst, I'll jump on that shit real quick. Yeah, absolutely. But you just got to sell it. You got to have a number you're going to get rid of it at, because if you don't, you're going to hold it too long and it's going to expire.
Homework, man. And then if you do your homework, it'll kind of give you when it's probably going to die off or whatever the case may be. You just got to do your homework and you got to be able to watch. That's the hardest part.
If you think it's going to go to, I don't know, let's say it's $10 to $50 stock and you think it's going to go to 100, sell that shit at 80. You know what I mean? Like, get out of it. In my opinion, you know, you may disagree. I don't know, but you got to get out of it before you think the top is, because the chances of you predicting that top is going to be unrealistic.
You can't be greedy.
So if you get your money, get out and then try another short term.
You can't be greedy. You know what I mean? And if you did make that money and it worked, like, take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
take the money out the door. Yep.
If it's a Friday, you can start back Monday.
Here's one thing I'll say about the stock market. There's always a play, bro.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's down, up. There's always something going on. But for me, again, I'm more of I buy a dip. Don't trip, buy the dip. Bro, I'm telling you, I know the companies that I want. I have them, and I buy more of them when I buy more of them. I just stack it up. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. What's the most challenging part about property management?
Another one that I may get in trouble for, but dumbing shit down.
Okay.
The common sense and the thought process that you may think that people have, they don't have.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. I'm stuck on the fence that are people playing to be non-comprehensive or whatever the case.
Yeah. Is it a game?
Right. So that way, like, if I'm explaining something to you, I didn't really get it. So the consequences really don't really mean it.
Yeah.
Because, or is it a real thing? You know what I'm saying? So dumbing stuff down, explaining things. Okay, I try Avenue A. Okay, I'm explaining Avenue B. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this one should work. If they don't work, I could go down Avenue C. I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now we talking about Avenue D, and then I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Now that's
Now your head hurts.
this is a thing. Like, yeah, really,
I get it.
really doing this on purpose because you trying to get out of any sort of responsibility on purpose, or is this real?
Yeah.
So either way, it's not a good look.
Yeah. When you're dealing with rental, when you're dealing with contracts for property management, it's important stuff. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into that. And I can only imagine how just the conversation is just like, all right, let's start this back over. Let's start from scratch. Let's start again. So you got to have a lot of patience, man.
Whoa, to say the least, man. And you can't match people's energy because that's what they want to. Once you get in the mode, it's really not that tough because you can see it coming. You know, you see how people move, you see how they talk, you see how they act.
Yeah.
So you can see it coming. They do my office on some crazy. I went start over. I'm like, start over. I've never talked to you in that fashion.
I love that. I love that energy. They come in hot and heavy, and you're like, start. Because if you said that to me, if I was upset, I'd be like, you're right, my bad. Because listen, we're all human. We could get irritated by the bug. We could get frustrated at X, Y, Z. Half time when they're mad at you, they're mad at something else. It's not you. It's just
me, you,
yeah.
her, whatever, she, him, whoever was sitting in that seat.
Yeah,
they gonna get
it.
So it don't matter. Don't take it personal. Don't take it whatever. But that's where it comes into don't match the energy. You always got to stay professional. Like, hey, I've never spoken to you in this fashion. I'm never gonna speak to you in this fashion.
But also
start over.
Yeah, but also you don't either. Come on now.
I'm
not your punching bag.
Nope, and I ain't gonna be.
This is why I like stocks. They're not emotional at all.
Oh,
nothing's personal. Nothing's personal.
Exactly what's going on, man. All right, so what apps, platforms, anything that you would recommend somebody to get the unemotional information from, the facts from, like, so to speak? Like I personally like watch well, not watch, but I have Motley Fool, have I watch Emerson Finance.
They should go where they're comfortable, right? I think in my experience, in what changed the game for me was I just inundated myself with any and everything.
Wow.
I said no to nothing when it came to finance. I wanted to read about it. I wanted to listen to it. I wanted to hear it. I just wanted to be engulfed in it. So there's lots of different things you can do. I've never used Motley Fool, but at the same time, you could watch channels. Now it actually bit me because I think you can over inundate yourself with information too.
Sure.
And I actually got to a point where everything I was watching, CBNC, anything squawk on the street, Fox Finance. I mean, you name it. I have them. I still, to this day, they're all recorded. I don't even watch sports that much anymore. This is my sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have them all. The problem with that is you can get so much information that you can be paralyzed by it. So if you're starting out in investing, pick a platform you want to invest in, whether it be, Robinhood or Vanguard or Fidelity or Webull. Of the two that I use, which is Vanguard and Fidelity, Fidelity is my most user friendly one. I think it's the easiest to read, easiest to pick up stuff, easiest to research, and I get everything from there. I take everything with a grain of salt. To your point when we were talking about, do you look at, when people are saying buy, sell, hold? I have done that before and it ended up biting me. So I don't pay much attention to that, but I will look at, if somebody is saying sell, I do kind of want to know why.
Sure.
Like, where's your thought? But then I'm going to read the other guy too, why he's saying hold. So you got, what's interesting about that whole thing is you've got financial experts that don't agree. This is why I don't mess with it. Now, if everybody's saying sell, okay. maybe it's a conversation. But when it's 3 saying buy, 6 saying hold, 10 saying or 5 saying sell, I'm like, so y'all don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really, I'm not gonna do that. But I do like on Fidelity, you can do. There's literally a research tab. So you go to any stock. You can literally you click research and you scroll down. It'll show you whether they if it says are they bullish on it or are they bearish on it, right? And so it'll tell you. And then, but I don't really pay attention to that necessarily, but I like to read the articles because there's a lot of articles under there. So that's where I would recommend somebody look is if you're whatever brokerage account you use, there's research stuff in there. Just play with it and just read it.
I say read
it
all.
Yeah, read it all. And don't get overwhelmed by it, but read it all because it's important. You know, somebody says do this, somebody says do that. You're the one who's got to make that decision.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, read as much as you can. And then if your fundamentals and the reason you bought the stock originally haven't changed, then no matter what somebody says, that shouldn't change.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think when you buy and hold, you're less subjective to that. If I'm doing a short-term thing, I'm probably going to be more susceptible to somebody saying sell. I'll be like,
some people have different motives for things. It could be totally a different reason why they selling or buying. It don't have to.
You never know, and there's so much, and I don't want to be a skeptic either, and I don't want this to sound pessimistic or anything, but there's a lot of market manipulation too, bro. So I take a lot of things with a grain of salt because the fact is when I buy a dip, I'm buying a dip in a good company. If you sold it and I bought it, I got it at a discount from you. So I wonder who's trying to do that to me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So to me, I'm not saying it just don't let everybody's opinion. If you have your opinion, if you really looked into something and you're really happy with it and it's done right by you, a 5 or 10% dip is going to happen. It shouldn't throw you off. If anything, what I've learned in my experience is when you're investing, everybody says you got to know what your pain tolerance is, right? So like, hey, what's your pain tolerance? If you lost X amount of money, the problem with that is you don't really know what your pain tolerance is until you actually have money on the board and you're actually losing it. You know what I mean? If we're talking hypothetically, hey, if you had $100,000 in an account and you lost 10,000, would that make you panic? You'd be like, hell nah. But in the moment, that might hurt you. So it can be the problem with stocks is it's stocks aren't emotional, but human beings are emotional. We panic. So and I've panic sold before, and a lot of times I've regretted it. Most times I regret it. So now after you've been doing it long enough, you get to a point where when a correction happens, you're excited because everything's on sale. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's more important is if you're going to research stuff, just pick strong companies. And then in my opinion, time in the market is more important than timing the market.
Don't you think people are scared of those markets because they're a little bit more expensive?
It depends on the people. So,
they feel like because they see Apple is what 200 and something right now.
It's like 270. I think last time I looked at it, maybe 265 now.
So some people is like, damn, I gotta have 200 and like
yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the expense. I mean, shoot, even Costco is $960 right now. So that's a big
$10 in there.
This is my point.
You know.
So people at home, if you ever open a brokerage account, when you go to buy a stock, it gives you two options. It gives you shares and it gives you dollars. Right. So if you hit dollars, most stocks you can buy a chunk, a piece. So, get a piece of it, and that's all you got to do. So if your plan is to hold it for a long term, another way you could do it is, let's say I have $500 and I'm like, I want to get into this stock, but it's been kind of up and down. Okay, well, buy 100 of it one day, a week later, buy another 100, week later, buy another 100, week later,
Yeah.
2 days later buy another 100.
I don't have to.
And it's, you don't have to shoot the whole shot at that one time. I do that with a lot of stocks. I'll see something that I think is going down. If there's a dip, you're trying to find the bottom, right? But who knows where the hell the bottom
you may
is?
just put a little bit more.
Yeah.
At that point.
So I might say, look, I'm gonna buy 1,000 right now, and then a couple days later, it goes a little bit further. Okay, cool. That's actually works in my favor. I'm gonna buy another 1,000. Keeps going down. Shit, I can't get the bottom of this. Let me buy another 1,000. I know if I want to hold the stock long term, then it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to increase my cost
That's
base.
your savings account.
And that's what I'm saying.
Get it your savings
So,
account.
and I said this on a previous podcast that this is if you're going to invest, you have to treat it as if, in my opinion, you have to treat it as if that ain't your money, bro. That money gone. As soon as I put it in my brokerage account, bro, that ain't, if you ask me how much I don't got nothing.
You know that way to help them understand that? What do you think, or what do people think happens when their money goes into the bank? It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
It's being lent out.
Doing what he's talking about. So you might as well do it yourself.
You might
as well make the play yourself. Get the information yourself, because once you put that money in the bank, they just gonna do what he talking about. What we do, you might as well do it, man.
Yeah, the bank's the worst place. Banks are for transacting.
Banks was never.
They weren't meant for wealth growth. I mean, unless you get a really high yield, you get a really high yield savings account, that's fine. But I prefer the method of getting it out of my bank account and putting it in my brokerage account, because you can get, I think with Fidelity, like 2.75%. With Vanguard, you get 4.5%, and you can get a card for it and everything. So you have access to it. It's just not in a bank.
Yeah.
I don't want, here's the crazy part is, people will put put money in your savings account is, in my opinion, is a scam, bro.
Well, they're
gonna give you 0.0001 interest.
They understand the math. Y'all could do the own math yourself. For every $10,000 for the annual year from January to December, you get $100 for every $10,000 from January to December. So you do the math. I'm pretty sure you can make that money do a lot more than it's sitting in the bank. That's literally crumbs. That's literally.
I don't even think
dust.
you'll get 100. It's dust. And even if you did just a basic index fund, the average is 10.5 a year. So I mean, your 10,000 is going to be 1,000 at least.
Best.
At average, it could be 2,000 or it could be 500 depending on the year.
I got you.
Right. So, but even then, it's better than having it sit with some BS interest, so that's just me. Yeah, bro. My money go in the account. The first thing listen, rule number 1, pay yourself first. The first thing, when I get my paycheck, the first payment I make is to my brokerage account.
That's very important.
Everything else is paid after that.
That's very important.
You got to pay you first, man. And then but this is where patience and discipline comes into play. We are conditioned from an early age in this country to spend money.
That we don't have.
Spend it more and often that we don't have. We're conditioned to, just buy all this stuff all the time. I mean, bro, it's on our damn phones. They literally, how many, you scroll on any social media, bro, how many times you click on a link and it's something there? They're advertising to us 24/7, 365 in our beds. How many times you been sitting on your couch just chilling and they're like, oh shit, that looks dope, I'm gonna buy that off Amazon or wherever you buy stuff from, right? We're conditioned to spend our money. They don't teach us to save it. They don't teach financial literacy in high school, bro. That's by design. That's by design, my boy. And that's by design.
That's the worst thing, man. I don't want to say that we learning BS, but we learning BS. We're learning everything besides what's gonna make us flourish or have the American dream. You know what I'm saying? Yo, teach me how to win, man. Teach me how to play off debt. Teach me how to win.
My opinion on school is I think that school is important. You gotta have a basis of knowledge, right? But I do believe in my heart of hearts that the public school system is designed to create employees.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's designed to teach you how to go to school, go somewhere every day for 8 hours, and then go back home. And the part that bothers me the most about, and this is we're getting into some other shit, but I don't care. This is my podcast. I can do what the fuck I want. I think that when it comes to schooling or anything, I think that anything that is the same way for every single person is wrong.
Yeah.
So you got kids that go to school that they feel like failures because they don't learn the way the school is designed to teach.
Most of the time it's too boring for them. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're smart.
And they're not unintelligent. They're not dumb. They're actually very intelligent.
Mhm.
They just don't learn that way.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is the problem I have with anything. Same thing with investing. Anybody who tells you that everybody should do the same investments is full of shit. Anybody who tells you that everybody should learn the same way is full of shit.
No, that's a fact.
And that's my issue. And so they don't teach financial literacy. Back to my original tangent was we don't teach financial literacy in school because we don't want kids to learn how to we don't want kids to learn about finance. We don't want kids to, well, not we. They want you to spend all your money. They want you to go buy a car with an $800 payment for 60 months, 84 months, But people don't even know if they're going to have their job in 84 months, let alone they got to pay for the car. You know, we don't even sign 84 months agreements at our place of employment, let alone, but we'll do it on a car. And then, I mean, they just launched 50 year mortgages.
$47,000 car.
It's going to cost you 80.
Come on, man.
And you can't pay that. And then most people don't even look at their budget before they make these decisions. And then, I mean, they just 50-year mortgages they just launched. We're doing 50-year mortgages now.
Keeping up with the Joneses. That's what it's called.
That's what everybody does. And this isn't Shane. I did it myself. Like, I did it myself. I know. Like, I've done it. You know what I mean? Like, so this isn't like some holier than thou. I've told people this before on this channel. This channel isn't to make you feel bad. This is me telling you I've done this shit. You can learn from me or you can learn the hard way. That's up to you. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't put money away, if you don't have money saved and you don't put money away, you're one lost job away from that car getting repoed. You're one lost job, one tragic illness in the family, one bad thing happening.
Tires go out. What if your battery right now is $300?
Just basic stuff.
You know, basic joints.
So now you got this nice car that don't move.
Come on, son. Like, so that's one thing my dad, he always was like, yo, I know everybody want the big whip. They want the big cars. They want all that. I don't even know if y'all understand, like, when you get a Mercedes Benz, just to put it on the car rack to lift it up, that ain't even including that.
Oh, millionaires? Oh, yeah, it's a rack.
That shit's like $300 to $500.
Yeah, just to get it up there.
Just to put it up on
and don't let it be something electrical.
Come on.
Oh, Lord Jesus, you're done.
You want the big Jones. It's like, listen, man, you take the steps, man. It's like, if you can't afford it, it's cool. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. But we shame people. People feel shameful. Man, I'll respect somebody right now. But I'll respect somebody right now driving a paid off car over some fancy car all day long. If you walked in and told me, man, I just paid off my car, people are like, oh, what you gonna get something new? I'll be like, bro, hell yeah. What you gonna do with that money? That'll be the first thing out of my mouth. You gonna invest, bro? Index, S&P 500, something. But this is where I think people, if you pay off a debt, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is keep paying that money.
Yeah, you got,
because you're already used to paying that money. Don't stop paying that money, but pay it to you. Pay it to yourself.
That's a good, maybe elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by that. So I know exactly what you mean, because that is a really good way for people to not manipulate their money, but maybe watch their money because they were already doing it.
Yes.
Right?
You already know you can handle that payment.
Try to elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by you already was making the $400 payment to your blah blah blah, but now you paid it off. So now what?
Yeah. Well, if you've already conditioned yourself to make that payment, the hardest part about investing is discipline and having the discipline to do it every single month. Now, when you have a contract for a car, your discipline is motivated by the fact that if you don't make the payment, they're going to come take it, right? So how do you got to keep that same, what did we talk about earlier? We got to keep that same energy, right? So rather than think to yourself, cool, I got extra $400 to spend, what you need to think of is I already have this $400 in my budget. I'm already paying this every single month. I'm used to paying this every single month. So I should either if I have other debt, I should continue making that $400 payment towards other debt, because you should get out of debt first before you really start getting crazy with investing. You want to get out of debt. Then once you're out of debt, keep that same energy. Again, take those, it's kind of the snowball effect. Take that 400, take whatever bills you were paying that you paid that debt off, and keep paying that. But now you're going to pay it to you. You're going to put it into your brokerage account, and you're going to pay $400 a month to you. And that is the most empowering thing you could ever do for yourself. Pay you $400 a month, because you put that $400 a month every month, and you don't even have to think about it. Even if you just want to keep it simple and buy a S&P 500 index every month, $500, every month, $500, every month, 500. You were already burning that money before. So keep that same energy, but do it for yourself.
I hope that makes sense to everybody.
I hope it does too.
It definitely will make a difference to, to not think like, yo, I could splurge this 400. I could splurge it, but splurge it in a way that's going to make that 400 be the 800, then that 800 be the 1600.
Yeah.
And then so forth.
Think about it this way. Do that long enough and you can splurge on whatever you want. Because once your money's making money for you, then you can spend the money your money's making instead of spending the money. So think about it this way. If you're gonna, for people out there listening, the goal is to have your money working for you. So while you're doing your 9 to 5 or your 8 to whatever your schedule is, your money's working at the same time. So if you can get yourself in a position and you can be disciplined for 5 to 10 years, that's all it really takes. And I know that sounds like a long time, but if you can be super disciplined for 5 to 10 years, now anytime you're spending money, you're spending gains. You're not spending the foundation. So if I have, let's say, $100,000 in the bank, and I just have it in a regular index fund, let's just say I'm making $10,000 a year off of that. Well, if you spend the 10,000, the foundation's still there.
Facts.
You could spend money. You just have to do the work to put yourself in a position to where you're not spending your employed money, the money that's working for you.
But
spend the money your money made. That's what people don't get. And when the switch happened for me, you know me, man. When I lock in, I lock in.
Oh, for sure.
And so when that switch happened for me, I was like, oh.
What Jay said, also, no fraud willies is gambling their re-up, and we can have a pleasant time sipping margaritas.
See? Bro, it's can't get no realer than that. All right? Anyway, that was awesome. I like that. Don. That was good. Let's go back to some property management stuff, man. What's your favorite part about property management?
The people. You come across some really good, cool people.
That's dope.
And then actually when you can genuinely help somebody, it's not a monetary, it's not money, it's not anything, like you genuinely help somebody.
Yeah.
And they're genuinely thankful for it.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
that's a good feeling.
It's a genuine hug, a genuine handshake, a genuine thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more than, a dollar sign. You know what I'm saying? And then
there's value in that for sure.
Yeah, man. This is where they live. You know what I'm saying? This is where they call home. This should be your most comfortable place. When you come home, you should be able to sit down, take a deep ass breath, wiggle your toes.
Yeah,
rip outside.
Yep.
Yo, I'm home, bro. You know,
that's how it's
chilling.
I'm with you.
And anything that I could do to make that a better process, a better event, a better experience, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I make sure I do food trucks every month. I do parties. I do all type of stuff to where my residents, they ain't gotta pay for nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I buy everything, I get everything, and I'm just like, just come. All you gotta do is just make it. And I got everything you need. You know what I'm saying? So that is by far my best part.
That's dope, man. I feel
So
with me, man, being in sales, man, I could tell you, I could have a day where I don't sell nothing, but it's a great day just because everybody I came in contact with was just cool shit.
mhm.
You know, just because somebody doesn't buy from you doesn't mean they ain't cool as hell. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just because somebody doesn't get approved or doesn't want to come to your place doesn't mean they're cool. They ain't cool. Like I've had so many times where I just, man, I had a good day. I ain't made no money today, but I mean, I had a good day.
You still may help
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah. People were awesome,
Mhm.
right? And so that inspires me, man. I like to hear stuff like that because I think the same way that someone's negative energy can impact us, someone's positive energy can definitely
time,
impact.
man.
And you can be that person who does that for somebody.
Big time. I hate the word hate, and I don't think anybody should hate, but I hate negativity.
Well,
Like shit.
that's a wonderful day. We can hate negativity because it's for what? What's it doing? It's not doing nothing for anybody.
Everybody mad, everybody angry, your blood pressure high, you about to have a heart attack, stroke, you gritting your teeth, you gotta go to the dentist, you got,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Now you got fillers, now you gotta get all this shit.
We create so much madness for ourselves. I feel like
Come on,
I
man.
feel like I feel like it's all self-induced, man. Because you can wake up every day and choose weird energy. You could choose that shit.
What I said, choose violence.
You choose violence. You can wake up and choose violence. I mean, we joke about it, but I'll be like, yeah, you woke up and chose violence today. Okay, man, let me mind my P's and Q's. You are one today. But when it comes down to it, we can choose our attitude, man. And crap's gonna happen to everybody, bro.
Oh, so check it out. You said choose your attitude. So there's people who come into my office when I've been having a bad day all day. And I'm like, well, that wasn't definitely a choice. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? And I'm like, well, when did this happen? Whatever the situation that flared you off, like when, oh, that was like, and I'm like, yo, it's 4 o'clock right now.
You've been
You
sitting
still holding on?
Yeah, you sit. Yep.
Come on, man. And then so you want to sit here and tell me that this is not a choice? Bro, you are literally choosing to hold on to this negativity all day. That is not my fault.
And everybody, and whoever pissed you off has already moved on. And that's the worst part. Yeah, whoever pissed you off is already, they don't even know they pissed you off, and they don't even care they pissed you off. They already moving on.
Let it go. That hours ago. Wow. Come on, man.
I love it. I love it.
You gotta stop it. I got a good one for you.
Okay.
And I know we talked about this one because we was talking about risk. I personally have, played the game, options. Some people really don't know the difference between buying stock and playing the stock market, so to speak. Not saying you playing it like you put the quarter in and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But there's a way to play the stock market. It's called options, calls and puts. Maybe getting too far out there, but
Yeah.
why? Like I said, we talked about it, but if people are maybe on Robinhood and they pressing buttons and they doing things and they see trade options and other things like that, I want them to know also what they could potentially get themselves into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And why somebody such as yourself, you don't really fall into that realm. You rather just play it conservative, play it safe, which is completely okay as long as you do your homework and you do like how were you saying, but why do you stay away from trading options?
Well, the simplest answer I can give you, and I'll give you an example of, because I have traded options before, so I'll give you a story. But the simplest reason the main reason I don't do options is because I don't understand it.
Okay.
I'm one of my rules is I won't invest in something I don't understand. Okay. And so I know the power of options. I'm not naive to it. I've actually, this book right here is all about it. It's actually really helped me out a lot. So I've watched videos on it. I've read books on it. The problem I have is, and again, investing is personal. Okay. So I'm not saying no one should do options. I'm saying that some people should and some people shouldn't. Okay. And so for me, the reason I don't invest in options is I just don't understand it. I've had a few friends, I've read books on it, I've tried to educate myself. I get it. I get like the principle, I get the basics, but I don't have the time to watch it all the time. That's the key thing is options you might get in and out of in one day. And if I miss the boat, I could be toast. And so I'll lead to an example. So I'll never invest in something until I can explain it to you like you a 5-year-old. I won't do it because if I don't understand it, I have no business being in it. Okay. So I would say if anybody's going to do options, I would say the advantage of options is you can leverage less money and maximize more out of it. Meaning if I have $1,000, I can put $1,000 into a stock and that $1,000 is now on hold. I can't do anything with it. It's in the stock until I sell it. Well, I could take that same $1,000, I could put it into an option. I might be able to turn that into 7,000 or 10,000 really quickly. I could also lose the whole 1,000. So it's a way to leverage my understanding again, and I am a layman, but my understanding from what I've read is it's a way to leverage smaller amounts of money to get bigger growth. But I do think you really need to be smart about it. I'll give you an example. My experience, and this is the dumbest thing you can do. And I'm just going to tell you, I did the dumbest thing you can do. Right here it is. Years ago, back when AMC was that whole trading thing, that it was a meme stock, and they were trying to drive it up and drive it up and drive it up. All right. That was the first time I ever did options, was with AMC. That was back what, like 6-7 years ago? What was that? Do you remember what I'm talking about when they were trying to drive that up? It was a while ago.
I want to see now. Well, I'll check it.
It was 5 to 7 years ago, something like that. And so a friend of mine, first of all, in order to sell options, you can't just go into a brokerage account and do options. There's a process to it. But so my buddy was like, hey, you should try this option. He knew I invested, and he was like, hey, you got a little extra money, man. Take a shot, right? So I was like, all right, screw it. I literally, without educating myself, without doing any research, without doing anything smart, I took my hard-earned money and I clicked where my friend told me to click. Okay, this is very stupid. I'm giving you an example of what not to do here. Okay, now here's the crazy part. I made a substantial amount of money in a really quick amount of time. So my ego's puffed up. I'm brilliant. I know what the hell I'm doing, right? I'm a genius, right? So I remember I did the same thing. Played another one. I want to say, I don't want to say the name because I could be, I want to say it was the name of the company is irrelevant. But 2 days later, I did another play, different company, different reason, whatever, and lost 50% of the money I won on the previous play. That quick. Bah! And I'm telling you, it was a good amount of money, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And that's when I said, nope, I don't understand what I'm doing, and this is stupid. So I took my winnings. Yeah, I took my winnings and I left. Okay. Now, since then, I've watched videos, I've read books, and I still just don't 100% grasp it. Regardless, however, this channel is all about talking about money. However you invest, however you double your money, whether that's opening businesses, whether that's buying and selling real estate, whether that's options trading, investing, index funds, private stocks, bonds, we don't care. You understand? We don't care. I don't give a damn. What I get excited about is, are you stacking bread? You know what I mean? Are you making money? Are you learning ways to make your money make money? I had a friend of mine on my first podcast, Russell, he's into real estate. I don't know that game.
Yeah.
He knows how to make money from real estate. I don't. I still love the fact that he's making money.
Game for sure.
I love the fact that he's turning money into money. He's doing it differently than I do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make him wrong. Doesn't make me right. Doesn't make me right. Doesn't make him wrong. We just playing in the game that we're comfortable with.
Where you at? Yeah.
Right? We're playing a game we're comfortable with. So I have one more question I want to ask you about property management. And this is more so if you were to give advice to somebody, right? What advice would you have for somebody who is interested in pursuing that as a career? What advice would you have for them?
come on, like, come see me. I'll hire you, or I have friends that are in management positions that'll hire you. It's very lucrative. You get to meet a lot of people. Depending on your work ethic or whatever, there's some long nights because you're dealing with people. If you're an emotional person, may not be the best fit for you. If you match people's energy, may not be the best person for the job, because there's people who actually want you to fuck up because they're gonna win at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
So they're baiting you.
oh man, and sometimes it's completely spiteful. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to differentiate. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? This person is doing this, but definitely good business, good growth within these companies. The money's not bad. The bigger the property, the bigger the budget to pay you. If you're in a smaller property, you may not have the budget to pay you. You'll still get paid good because there's bonuses in pretty much every structure of property management.
Are the bonuses, are they set off of like keep making sure the place is constantly filled, or are they, or can you elaborate on that? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So depending on the percentage of your property, obviously leases, you know, they get commission on leasing.
Okay.
Some people get bonuses off like if people stay, leave, you know what I'm saying? Like there's
So like longevity, if you have like a lot of turnover where every year everybody's moving versus you are able to get people to stay longer, are you incentivized for that?
That'll be on the person who is responsible for renewals. So if
Okay.
you want if you are in charge of renewals,
Uh-huh.
then yes, you want to.
Oh, but it could be different. Like,
Yeah.
So somebody who's in charge of renewals may not necessarily be in charge of bringing in new clients.
No.
Oh, okay.
Different
That's
things.
cool.
So renewals, okay, if I'm responsible for renewals, you know, hey G, my lease is coming up. I'm thinking about staying, but is there any incentives for me it's my job to be like, hey, you know, I'm going to reach out to my regional, my corporate, whatever. Hey, this is what I want to do for my, you know, current resident. How far can I go? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're going to do some things for you. We're not going to just leave you behind dry. We want you to stay. Whatever I could do in my parameters, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? To keep those people. But that's pretty much it. But it's not a bad business to get into, but you definitely have to be able to work with people. You have to be able to work with attitudes. You have to be able to work with a constant fluctuation of energy. Every time somebody walks into the property, you're going to have to put a new hat on because it's a new energy you're going to have to deal with. That's your good, the bad, the ugly. So if you can't switch hats, it's probably not a good idea.
You're going to carry this energy to the next customer, it's going to be a problem.
You can't.
Same thing with sales, man. We go through a rough sale. We got to let that, you got to have a short memory, keep it moving, because you take that to the next call, it's going to be a problem.
You cannot do it. You can't do it.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And it sounds like it has, what is it, like you said 9 to 5. I mean, is it a Monday through Friday kind of a thing? Do you work weekends in this kind of work?
It's going to be a 5-day week, but it's a 7-day a week job. Mm-hmm. So even though you may not be Monday through Sunday, it's open from Monday through Sunday.
Gotcha.
So
there might be something you got to handle on a weekend.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We're not there on the weekends. But there's never a time that I'm not gonna answer the phone in my career. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care who, what, when, where, why. Call me.
Yep.
I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So
I get that.
I love my people, man. Make sure they good, man.
Well, I'll tell you this, knowing you as long as I've known you, I know that's true, man. We've worked together in the past at different things.
Yeah.
Your magnetism when it comes to people, man. Like you got a big heart, man. You always have. And
thank you.
I know that when you dial in with people, like your heart's always going to be in the right place. Now you we might have to, I can actually visualize you. In fact, hold on. I actually just remembered something. You did that. You did that. Go back and come back and start over when you were working in the store.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. I just remembered. This was years ago. A customer came in hot. You were like, no, go out, start over.
Man.
That customer came back in, and I kid you not, his energy changed, and he was actually like, he had like a feeling, he had an energy of relief. When he came back, I don't even work in the store. I was overseeing multiple stores, and I was just there. I try not to act like I'm anybody. I try to act like a regular customer because I like to see how people interact with people. And this guy went back. He came in hot as hell. He was pissed. Came in yelling, went back outside, came back in, which for the record hit our ticker, which messed our, which I didn't love that. I didn't love that part. But he came back in and he said, look, man, I know I'm sorry, but I'm just really frustrated. And what I saw in that experience was he was mad. You didn't tell him you weren't going to help him. You didn't tell him no kind of nothing. You just said, hey, we're going to start over. And then he came back in and his energy was like, okay, he apologized. He said, my bad. He said, my bad. But you got to help me, man. I've been dealing with this. And then, and then when he did that, this man let it all out. And G just listened. He said, okay, cool. Break it down. Because his energy changed. And then you ended up solving it. If the dude was that, I remember going back in the office, back in the back, because I had to deal with some nonsense. And I was in the back, and by the time I came back, these guys are joking, laughing. Yeah. He's buying buying an accessory. Yeah. He's having the time of his life. But he came into that store ready for violence, boy. And he left laughing and clowning and having a good time. Yeah. So that's hilarious. You've done that. And I can see, and I was saying that because I could see you doing that, because I could see you saying that, no, hold on. Let's do this again. Start over. I've even done that before. I've asked the customer, not said it the way you did. I'd be like, can we start over? Start over. Because I already feel my energy going sideways. You're already upset. Can we just? Yeah, we'd be good. Let's just do this again. Let's just do this again. That's freaking awesome. Come back in. You good. That's awesome. I love it. I got another one for you. Okay. For people who are scared, for people who are timid, for people who feel like they need $1,000, for people who don't understand the ins and outs, to motivate, to encourage, to push, what would you tell them to get on the train, to don't be afraid to put the fucking wetsuit on, put your goggles on, dive in, man. Let's go. Like, dive in. Like, don't be afraid. You gonna spend more money on Starbucks. You about to go. You about to, whatever your vice is, bro. You could put the same bread and put it on something. It ain't gotta be to hold $1,000. I think, to your point, you do not need $1,000. You could start with $50, $20. I think what's more important is the habit that you generate. So everything we purchase by habit. Would you agree? I do. Whether it be a vice of ours, whether it be certain clothes, certain shoes, certain this, certain that, certain this, everything we buy is out of habit. Very, very little of what we buy is out of actual necessity. Most of what we spend our extra money on is out of habit, because we like to spend money. We work hard. We want to do nice things for ourselves, right? So you have to switch your mind into, okay, get a budget, see how much money you have in your budget, see how much money you have left over after actual bills, your mortgage, your rent, your car, your insurance, your everything. If you have X amount of dollars left over, let's say you have $1,000 free. Okay. If you're scared to do the whole 1,000, start with 500. Start with 200. I don't care. If any, regardless, put some money. You should put money away, even if it's in a brokerage account. Just just in not even investing it, just a interest bearing account.
Mike, I just, I just, man, if I put this 100 in there, if I just do this 250, if I just do this 200, like, man, I really just don't know, man. I just don't want to.
No, I get it. It's scary, but let me ask this question. What's the alternative? I think what a lot of people don't realize, especially if they're young, is they don't realize that at some point you're not going to be physically able to create money for yourself. Or you're just going to be tired of putting up with some dumbass manager that you can't stand. Or you're just going to be tired of people being mean to you all day long. Or you're just going to be tired of just working. So I would ask everybody to really think about, how long do you want to work? Do you enjoy the job you have? Because most people don't. Let me put it this way to you. What if you set enough money aside to where that job you hated, you could walk away from and go do something you enjoy?
Like that.
How would that feel? And that's what I really want people to understand is you can't do that if you don't got money aside. You got to keep doing that job you hate unless, well, I mean, yeah, you could go find another job you hate. But if you don't have money set aside for yourself, you don't have any freedom. If you give all of your money away to businesses, to car payments, mortgage, rent, I mean, I know mortgage rent is necessary, and some people say car notes are necessary as well. I disagree, but especially in this day and age when you have Uber and everything, you don't have to have a car payment. Like, you really don't. When we was coming up, you kind of did.
What?
Like, you better have a whip. But now you got so many rideshare things, bro. You got electric scooters and shit now.
Yo, I was used to hop on our page. Let's stop playing.
Right? Let's go. Man, handlebars. Let's go. Man. So my point being is starting. Everybody started from somewhere. So if you can put, even if it's $50 away, even if it's $20 away, what I want people to take from this is develop the habit. Because here's what's going to happen. And I'll challenge anybody out there. If you can figure out how to put $500 away every year, I'm not talking a month, I'm talking every year. If you can learn how to just put $50 a month, $50 a month, you could find $50.
I'm pretty sure you could.
$50 a month. Just for right now, let's just keep it simple and just put it in an index fund. S&P 500, VOO, fine. Or if you want to get squirrely and do the QQQ, which is 100 tech stocks, that's another one. If you want to get higher gains, maybe it's a little more volatile, but just get yourself in the habit of just buying it without thinking about it. $50 a month, $50 a month. Here's what's going to end up happening. After a year or two, you're going to look at what you put in and what you have. And it's going to spark something in you. That's the trick. It's going to spark something in you. You're going to be like, oh shit, man, I put $1,000 in. My $1,000 is now $1,150. And then you're going to be like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I just put money in and now I have $1,050.
Real.
I mean, I have $1,150.
Real savings.
I made $150. Over a year. Okay, it took me a year, but I didn't do anything. Now you're going to be like, oh, I think I could do $100 a month. I could do $100 a month. And then eventually I could do $150. Eventually I could do $200. And then you get a raise. Here's the other thing I'll encourage everybody out there. When we get raises, what's the first thing we do?
Go splurge on something.
We go spend money, right? We get a bigger house, better car, more shoes, more this. We celebrate. I want to encourage everybody out there. When you get a raise and you've started this habit, if you can switch your mind, next time you get a raise, you're going to be like,
you still can celebrate, but
yeah, absolutely. You got it. But
Be different.
you might actually be excited. Investing the money might be a celebration for
It'll
you.
be different.
You're going to be like, oh, hold up. Now I was only doing $100 a month. Now I could do $300 a month.
It's gonna be different.
When I get my taxes, instead of buying a TV, $500 pop, boom. I buy a whole
Real nice.
something really nice. That's what I'm saying is that if you can start with $50 a month, $20 a month, $100 a month, whatever it is, I promise you, if you stay consistent and you see the results, you're going to think to yourself, you're going to start finding ways to put more money in. You're going to start thinking when you go buy something dumb, you're going to be like, I should have put this in the
That big
S75.
Starbucks cup, they ain't gonna beat.
Yeah, it will. It really will change. It really will change how you view things.
By the time when you got the extra, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not
That's
supposed
right.
to go get like, I'm like, nah, I'm not, I'm not getting this.
And if you already have that habit, going back to what we were talking about as far as like once you pay off your car,
Mhm.
keeping that same energy, if you've already got that habit, as soon as you pay off your car, you're not even going to have to think about it. I know exactly where that $400 going.
Immediately.
And then that money's gone. But now think about this.
It's not going.
I mean, what I mean is in your head, make it gone. Make it gone. Because you got to leave it there. Because it can't, this is another thing where I talk about having an emergency fund. If you put money in and take it out, put it in and take it out, you're hustling backwards. So you do have to create, this is important, you do have to create an emergency fund. So if you have an emergency, your first thought can't be, let me go sell my index fund.
Facts.
Your first thought needs to be, let me use my emergency fund. I got $5,000 that I saved up and I worked towards. Let me use that for this emergency. Now let me replenish my emergency fund. Now I can start investing again. Because this is important. If you put money into an index fund and then take it out 6 months later, you didn't do anything.
No, that's a fact.
You've got to let it sit. You've got to let it go.
I mean, that would be kind of pointless.
But people will do it. If you don't have an emergency fund, you will do it. If you need the money, you're going to sell the stock.
Yeah, this is
So-
something to stay up on. Like, let it work, man. Let it marinate, man.
Let it marinate.
Yeah,
Let it percolate.
yeah.
Bro, it's got time in the market is everything. Yeah. If you read any book you read, it will tell you it's not about time in the market. It's about keeping your money in there as long as you can.
It's gonna go up. It's gonna go down, which is called bear bull.
Yes,
it's
that's why the logo says this.
Yeah,
It's never going to be a straight line.
yeah. It's just a part of the game, man. But
Yep.
everything has a part of the game.
Yep.
I'll let y'all know the best thing I used to work for, a guy. His name was Nick Augustinelli, man. If you out there, man, I still love you, my boy. He always told me, pay myself first, because there's a such thing as a self-resentment. You literally can resent yourself, even though you don't know you resent yourself. You can resent yourself because you work, and you don't do nothing for yourself. So your body will give up on you.
That part.
And your body will definitely start rejecting because you don't do nothing for you. So your body's like, so what am I doing? Like, I'm not getting nothing in return. So your brain may be thinking that, but your body is accepting it and your body will reject it. So 1. And then 2, get out the box. Boom. Being the box is, think about this. Your phone is a form of a box, the 4 corners. Your bed, a box. I don't know if you work in an office, but your office is a box. Your desk is a box. Your computer screen is a box. Your mouse pad is a box. Your alarm clock is a box. There's really nothing that is not a box that is not in your everyday life. Get out the box. You gotta do something that changes that to throw off that Groundhog's Day effect. You know what I'm saying? Because then that'll put you in a different
The
light.
same old, doing the same thing every day.
Man,
The definition of insanity, right?
Come on, bro. That's what really be killing niggas. That Groundhog Day effect shit, man. Like you.
And what am I doing this for?
Come on.
But I'm just
Same
every day. Yeah.
every day, day in out. So if you start investing, you start doing your thing, you could jump out the box. Yo, I'm calling off today. My
Mhm.
family, you know what we about to go do? We about to go take this trip. We about to go, I don't know. We about to go. What restaurant did y'all want to go to that y'all ain't never been to? We not going to the one we kept going to.
Yep.
We gonna have it out, man. And that's what I mean about get out the box.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. We've got to do more for ourselves, man. We have to. And you know, I shared you that story with you earlier about, you know, not on the podcast, but privately about what I went through with that former employer. And I'm telling you, man, we give so much of ourselves to businesses and to companies and we're so expendable. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not expendable. Your family needs you. Your family, what you do every day is important. But stop putting yourself last. Put yourself first. Put your family first. And there's other ways. I'm not saying money's not everything, right? But I will say this.
That's something that got to be learned, though.
But I will say this. Money is freedom. And when you have money set aside, I can tell you from experience, having been in an incredible amount of debt before in my life, having been very poor with my money, I've always made good money, but I always spent the shit out of it. I've always made good money, and I've always spent all of it. I mean, I had commission checks spent before I got the damn things. Okay, and so
A lot of growth.
and I'm thinking you think you're putting yourself first because you're spending money on yourself, but you're not. You're putting yourself last because you got to still go back to that job. If you love your job, great. If you love your job, you don't work a day in your life, right? But if you don't love your job, you need to figure something else out. And financially, if we set money aside and we have money saved and we have money invested, it takes the pressure off your chest. That pressure of debt, that pressure of I got to put up with this stuff I don't want to put up with because I don't have any money. I got to do this because I don't have any money. I got to deal with this dude's shit that I don't like. I got to do this boss that I can't stand, and I got to do all this stuff. You only have to do that because you don't have fuck you money yet.
That's a bad.
And when you have fuck you money, you don't have to tolerate that.
Gang.
Now, fuck you money doesn't mean you're ready to retire necessarily, but it's enough to where if you say something wise, you say some shit to me, don't talk outside of your mouth to me because I'll walk out. I'll walk out of this building right now.
I can move around.
And I'll be good. And I can go find me a company that appreciates me.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Is that okay to say? Am I being?
Yeah. No, I feel like that is the most important thing to say. Because I feel like that's where a lot of people get caught up on. They feel so in the chokehold, bro.
Yep.
They in the chokehold. And
Yep.
like, yo, and some of the shit that they get told or a response that they may get or something, it fucking pisses them the fuck off. Or they're like, I can't believe this motherfucker talked to me like that. But you know what their response is after that? I gotta take it.
You got to take it.
Because
You ain't got no choice.
someone I need my job. I got rent.
That's what I want for everybody out there. I want you to have the power to be where you want to be when you want to be there and be able to walk away from something that's not good for you. That's it. And that's what happens. That's what money does do for you. If you can invest it. I want you to have money, not because you need to be rich and all this shit. I just want you to be able to have enough money to where you can walk away from something that's not good for you.
The true thing of money may bring you happiness. It may not be the yacht, but it may be the feeling of not being in a fucking chokehold.
Facts. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So anyway, that was awesome, man. I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. I love it all day long. All right, man. Well, that's it, man. That's the show, man. G, thank you for coming on with me, bro. I appreciate you.
Man,
Great seeing you again. We need to see each other more often, for the record.
go, man.
As always, man, thank you for joining. Like I always say, if you do nothing else, stop playing and start stacking.